A very good evening to all the participants. Welcome for the interview preparation tips session. This is for students who are aiming to apply for design and fashion institutes. All right. Um, all right. So we are here. DQ Labs is here to help you become a design superhero, and we try to do whatever is necessary to give you information, tips, trainings, mentorings of high quality to help you become a design superhero. So if you're talking about the interview, so there are a few crucial pointers that we'll be discussing. So what happens in the interview, most common questions, how to respond, what to inquire, how to prepare, and all of that are discussed. And at the end, we'll have FAQ sessions. So the whole purpose of the interview is to ensure that you are the right candidate for their design school, because a lot of students apply, they apply with various motives. So the schools have a choice to choose from the talent pool that is available. So they are trying to see if you are the right candidate. So what happens in a interview is, considering this pandemic, so this would mostly be an online interview, right? So unless something dramatic happens in the next few months and then they open up a physical interviews and all that. So considering what has happened with NID last year, they did a physical, sorry, they did a online interview, and very interestingly, they asked the candidate to switch on the video and all through the interview. So you should be prepared. And the interview panel was also observing the background, what was there in the background behind you, right? So in fact, they have asked the candidates to turn the laptop 360 degrees to see the entire room, right? So this is something that something which very interesting thing that has happened last year. So be prepared for that kind of an engagement. So generally, there will be 1 to 3 interview panel, um, uh, mainly consisting of a designer or a design professor, and then a psychologist. Now, a designer or a design professional is there to understand your methodology, your approach, your thought process, and etc. And a psychologist is there to ensure that you are a positive thinker, you have no psychological issues, and you can uh, take intense stuff under pressure in a well manner and all of that. So they'll do their own profiling. All right. So so what happens in an interview is that there will be a series of questions. They would ask to show your work portfolio or your experience work. So please ensure that you keep your copy of work digitally ready in your laptop or device where you're accessing it, because what has happened is some people were not expecting that. They thought it's only an interview, and they kept somewhere else in a different room, and they didn't have it ready to show, right? So that's a big disadvantage for them. So you got to be prepared for the interview very well in advance. And they may also give you quick short activities. Let us say they kind of go through your portfolio and they want to test you. Have you really done that work or not? Do you really have that skill or not? Right? So they may ask you to sketch something or create a small model or come up with something impromptu at that moment. So these are the 3 things that would happen: a series of questions, review of your portfolio, quick short activities. So these are not mandatory and they will not follow a particular pattern. It all depends on how you are leading the interview process by the answers that you are giving into them. Okay. So, what are the most common questions? So, there are 8 levels of questions they may ask to you. One is, who are you? Why you want to do design? What is your skill level? How determined are you to take up design? your personality traits, your knowledge and passion. Are you mentorable? Your value to the school. So I'm going to dig deeper into each of these points and help you explain with what is the right kind of answer that they are expecting. So for any question, there are two levels of answers. One is shallow and the other is deep. Um, so for example, if I ask you a question like, okay, tell me something about your native place, and you say that my native place is a small village near Anantapur called Pamadi, but I never gone there, I don't know anything, no answers further, right? So that's a very shallow level of knowledge or the answer. Whereas you can tell more about the town and how it has evolved over the years, and what are the primary activities that happen within that space. And all right, so this kind of information, if you give out, then it is deep. So they are looking for deep answers in every question that they ask. They're trying to check the depth. Of course, you may not know that level of depth for every question that they ask, but at least you can be prepared. If you're prepared, then you can easily answer those questions. Okay. So to begin with, the first, who are you? So you have to understand yourself. So when you are talking about yourself, you are also talking about all the other stuff that are associated with you. It's not just you, right? So we are also talking about your family, your hobbies, your native place, your favorites like your movies, food, books, sports games, places, and your opinions as well. For example, last year during the pandemic, that's the first time anybody who has been living on this earth still alive has faced this pandemic, right? So everybody have gone through a lot of ups and downs and etc. So for one student, they asked, "How did the pandemic affect you? How are you doing?" So there was no opinion of herself from the student. I mean, the student was like, "I'm fine. Everything is going all right for me. No problem." Right? So that's not the kind of answer that they're looking for. And also, it's not just about you, it's about the others that you are associated with as well. Because ultimately, as a design professional, you've got to be empathetic with the people that you are associated with. If you are not able to cut through their thoughts, their feelings, their emotions, and etc., then I don't think you have the right aptitude to get into design. Because as a designer, you have to have that empathy, the ability to understand others, their feelings, emotions, all of that. Right? Okay. So these are some of the aspects about you that they may ask. So, for example, I gave this example of native. All right. So a shallow answer would be, I don't know much about it. I never stayed there. I never been there. Or a deeper answer would be talking about the people, culture, architecture, main economy, your favorite stories of the place, or significance of the place's significance or the contribution to the country, etc. So, uh, if you have not thought about that, about the place where you are born, please try to identify and be prepared to answer them. All right. So it's not only where you have born; it is also about your where your parents have born, where your grandfather has born, and etc. So it all depends on your inquisitive, how deeper you can go. So next is why you want to do design. All right. So this is one of the definite question that you would expect. In fact, who are you? What are you? Is also a definite question that you expect. So for this question, again, there are two levels of answers: shallow and deep. Let us look at the shallow answer. If you're telling that, okay, I don't want to do engineering or medicine or accountancy, so I'm choosing design. Or I want to earn a lot of money in design. All right, or probably design students are they chill. They'll be chilling all the time and they have a cool life. Or maybe my parents want me to do this. Wrong answer, shallow answers. Okay, so if you don't have a proper reason for doing design, then you better have a reason. So for example, you can talk about the value that you can provide to the society as becoming a designer, or things that you can change in a better way, and making people lives easy, or want to solve people problems. So these are the deeper values based on which why you should be getting into design field. All right, so try to get that right. um, and then they will be looking at your skill level, right? So um, so what kind of skills that they're looking at is the majority of the design aspirants, they know sketching, Photoshop, Illustrator, and 3D softwares. One or the other they know. But these are the surface level skills. The deeper level skills are your curiosity, your observation skills, asking the right questions, identifying the problem, synthesizing information, articulating ideas, hands-on skills. All right. So these are the deeper level of skills that they are looking at. Okay. So yes, you have Photoshop, sketching, Illustrator, 3D software, all that is fine. But if you can go beyond that and express the deeper skills, then that would be really good. And your determination level, how strong you're determined to do design. Okay, now everybody says, in fact, if there are, let us say, 1,000 students appearing for an interview, everybody will say, okay, I love to design, I like design, I dream about doing something, I want to do design. Okay, so everybody will say that, but what differentiates them with others is that when you say that, you see, I did this for this problem, I helped them to solve it in this fashion, or I won this competition, or I made this particular product using the materials that are available at home, or I am working on this problem or to solve it, right? So those are action related determination. The first shallow ones are all fantasy related. Oh, I want to do that, I'll do this. Once I get out of the design school, then I'll do all of that. But first, let me get into the design school. No, wrong answer. Okay, you should already be doing something related with design. Okay, you should be developing that kind of interest, and it has to be practical, actionable results that you should be talking about. Okay, your personality traits, very important. All right. Um, One of the very interesting thing is, like, for example, some people, they're very, very obstinate to change their opinions. All right. So they feel whatever they feel, they kind of stick to that feeling. Okay, or that opinion. They're not open to listen to other people. Okay. For example, if somebody says that, okay, tiger has 3 legs. All right. So how many of you agree tigers has 3 legs? And the professor is saying, no, no, tiger has 3 legs only. And then you are saying, no, no, tiger will have 4 legs, right? So are you willing to think from the professor's perspective? Okay, you should be asking, okay, so what is it that you are going to tell? I mean, please give your opinion, right? Okay. So you need to have that kind of opinions, right? And you should be observant, respectful, openness, uh, prepared. You should be well prepared, enthusiastic, sporty, and truthful. So these are some of the qualities that you should be developing as personality traits. The most important thing next is mentorable. Are you mentorable? This is one of the crucial things, right? So for example, if if you are like a touch me not, for example, you show one work and somebody gives you a critical feedback on the work, and how do you react? You react saying that, no, 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 what I did is, this is what I can do, this is what is the best way to do. And if you're not willing to take the feedback in a positive way and building upon it, all right, so then you are not mentorable, and that will be a very difficult proposition, because all these professors, they want students who are mentorable. All right. And then what is the value that you're giving back to the school? All right. Again, two different levels of values. Okay, one is I can pay you a fee. Okay, you want 10 lakhs, I'll give you 10 lakhs. You make me join your school, right? You give me admission. Absolutely not a right attitude to have. Okay, it could be that, okay, I can be a school ambassador, brand ambassador for you, right? Okay, so you should be thinking in that level. All right. Okay, now at the end of every interview, most cases they will ask you, okay, would you want to know anything from us? All right, so that is an open-ended question the professors would pose to you. Now, how would you answer that question, right? So, an inquiry, a shallow inquiry or a deep inquiry, okay? So, shallow inquiries are like, okay, I have no questions to ask. I don't know what to ask. Everything is fine. Or probably asking about is your school good? Okay, what do you think your school is better than NID? These are all stupid questions, right? You you should have probably inquired all this before joining that interview, or asking, okay, do you have any placements? Wrong questions. The right questions would be, okay, asking the interviewers, okay, you have seen my work. Could you please give me some feedback on my work? Or may I know what are you doing? I mean, how did you reach to this position where you are right now? Okay, so curiosity. In curiosity is one of the important things, and seeking feedback for personal improvement is or does also impresses the interview panel. Okay, right now, how to prepare? Now that you know what is expected in the interview, all right, so you do a little bit of soul searching and start preparing for those answers. So you create a mind map and build points about each of them in depth, the points that I have discussed in this webinar. All right, and once you prepare that, you have mock interviews with your friends and parents. Ask them to have a formal setup and let them ask you questions and try to see if you're able to answer them in the right way as we have discussed or not. All right. Okay, so those are the points that we would want you to keep in your mind as you prepare for the interviews. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask your questions in the chat window. Sri Tirtha is asking, is there a dress code? Um, unless you have a particular reason of appearing in front of them in a fancy, different, outlandish clothing, okay, I would suggest you to dress neat, well, professional. All right. Like, for example, let us say you have a Bharatanatyam performance in the next 1 hour after the interview. So you have to go in that attire. Okay, that is acceptable, right? Um, Otherwise, you present yourself in the most pleasing manner. Okay, not casuals, but formals or semi-formals. Okay. Yeah, Siddharth, I think I answered that question. All right. So the right dressing sense. So uh, dress up in the most decent manner. Okay, if you can appear in front of them in the formals, nothing like it. They should feel that you are serious about what you're doing, right? Okay. Um, and please ensure that you have something interesting in the background, right? So like a bookcase. So, and you got to be very careful, right? Let us say there is a bookcase behind you. They're going to ask you a particular book. Have you read that? Okay, who is the author and what is special about this book? So if book reading is not your hobby, then better not have those books at the background, right? Okay. Arun is asking, how about technical or previous work experience that isn't related to design? um like, for example, Arun, can you please give some more examples, because I feel everything is related with design. So how can you say something is not related to design? So I would like to understand that question further. Veda Arvind is saying, what do you do if you get stuck or blank while speaking? So please take it casually. It's all right. Okay. So if you make a mistake, ask for ask for forgiveness, or say pardon me, right? And if sometimes it happens that you go blank, yeah, it sometimes happens. So yeah, how do you come out of that situation? So have something ready as a answer for you, for yourself. See, for example, going out blank happens at least once in an interview. So have a prepared answer for that, like saying that, okay, I'm sorry, I'm just thinking about something else as well parallelly. So sorry for this little gap, but then you continue. Okay, or have a filler. Basically, have a filler when you know that this problem might occur. This is asking, sir, will the counseling be called for joining college after our NATA exam? Tejasvi, there will not be any interview for the NATA entrance exam or admission through NATA, unless it is for private schools like Jindal, where they have an interview and they are trying to find the right candidate, not just through marks, but by interacting with the students, right? Otherwise, 99% of the architecture schools, they don't have an interview process. Abhinav is saying, what if something get unexpected in the interview? I mean, any unexpected questions come up and I'm not prepared for it. All right, so let us say you really don't know an answer. So be honest and say that I really don't know about this. I probably would require some time to think about it, right? But at this moment, I'm not in a position to answer them. Okay. And very important thing is, since this is for the design college, okay, they would ask some questions related with the design field. Okay, let us say you are interested in product design, so they may ask, okay, are you following any product designers, or okay, who designed Apple, iMac, and etc. Who is the chief designer? Okay, so they may ask some questions related with that design discipline. So better be prepared. You please dig deeper, understand who are the design professionals, what their work is, what are the brands, and etc. So in that context, the DQ Edge, the awareness, general knowledge material will help you a lot, because that would help you to get an awareness of the design field, design, architecture, or fashion field. Okay. Ruchi Mali is saying, hello, sir. In case of any technical difficulties during the interview, what to do? Have a backup. All right. So one of the most possible technical difficulty is power cut. All right. So power goes off, the Wi-Fi is down, and there is a 3-4 minutes of backup, or like lull happening till the power comes back and the Wi-Fi is booted out. Right? So have a backup. So try to have the phone ready with you, leave your mobile phone or a smartphone, and also have a laptop and have a backup for your Wi-Fi router, right? So Wi-Fi could be one technical issue. The second technical issue is probably the battery power is drained out and it kind of shuts down immediately. So in that case, you have a mobile phone to fall back with, and you can attend the interview with the mobile phone. All right. Yeah. So these are the most common errors that might occur. All right. In case that you are not able to join the interview during that particular time, so you can get back to them, tell the technical difficulty, and they will reschedule the meeting for you. Okay, so don't worry too much on that aspect. Arun is saying, I am from engineering and from electronics background. Some of my works are almost software or either embedded systems. All right, so this is a very interesting question. So the kind of questions that might pop up is like, okay, how you can use electronics to help solve people problems through design and electronics, right? So you can think of solutions, predetermined solutions and answers to help you navigate such kind of questions. All right, Arun. Siddharth is asking, also I heard they will ask creative questions like in the prince exams. Is it true? They might ask you to sing, they might ask you to dance, they may ask you to imitate sounds, right? So they're trying to see how your personality, okay? Because some people may get really angry if they are asked to make noises like a donkey, right, or some other animal. So they'll think, okay, what is this nonsense that is happening? But it is important. I mean, as a designer, you should be flexible in understanding, being observant, and all that. In fact, you know what? If you're going for visual communication, especially if you're interested in animation, you have to study animals, right? You need to know the postures. You need to know the daily routine of these animals, donkeys and rats and elephants and dogs and cats and all of that, right? So they are trying to check how willing are you to put yourself in the process. Okay. All right. So I think I answered all the questions. If any more questions, please feel free to answer in the chat window. And please do prepare for the interview and go. Please don't go with blank slate, right? So think about these questions about yourself, very important, about each of these things, right? And these 8 levels. So um, please take a screenshot if you need, and try to study more about these aspects and have ready-made answers.
All right.
And do practice well with your parents or friends. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. I think a couple of more questions. Taj is asking, will they ask field specific questions? Yes, probably, to understand your deep thought process. They might ask field specific questions as well. If possible, they may ask, but mostly it will be revolving around you and what you do and what are your thoughts, okay, rather than being a general knowledge kind of a interview. Right? Yeah, they will not be asking GK questions to you, but if you tell anything related with uh, if you mention anything related with design field and your experience in that space and etc., probably they may try to dig deeper. That's all. Okay. Veda Arvind is saying, while we are planning and preparing our portfolio for next year, should we consider the mode of interview, online or offline, as it will make a difference in the way we present our work? Okay, so regarding the portfolio, I would always recommend all the students to have a digital copy of your work. Okay, digital copy of your work is not doing everything digitally. It is only a documentation of your physical work. All right, just take nice photographs of the work, put it on Google Slides or maybe on Canva or something like that, and edit them and document it. Because we never know. That is number one. Secondly, we never know what kind of interaction we may have with the faculty. Number one. Number two, once you digitize all your work, you do digital documentation. The work is there always forever, right? So you, even if you lose a physical copy, you have a digital copy, right? Okay. So yeah, so the answer is always keep a digital copy of your work. That will be of great help. All right. Okay. Cool then. So all the best. So please go through these questions
Umesh, one more thing.
Yeah.
All right. Uh, how important, see now at DQ Labs, we do give opportunities for students to participate in live projects, right?
Hmm.
So, how important is that to be reflected in a portfolio?
Oh, yeah, I mean, in a portfolio, you definitely add all that stuff, all your activities related with design, okay, and your hobbies, um, your observation activities, and all of that, right? So, yes, if you have got some practical experience like internship or working in a live project for a company, it will always have an added advantage because that shows your enthusiasm, that your eagerness and willingness to work with others and learn. All right. Um, as a design aspirant, a young design aspirant, um, when you're working in a company for, let us say, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, your contribution may not be that great, but the amount of learnings that you gain will be tremendous. All right. So it is very important to showcase all of that. In fact, in DQ Labs, we provide these live internship opportunities, live projects to all the DQ students, and they are time to time they're hosted on DQ Labs. There is a separate category called as live projects. So you can go there, register yourself, and look for the current live projects that are running, and please do participate in it. Okay, so sometimes these companies also give scholarship if you are selected um, for a live project or an internship. All right, so please make use of those opportunities. Okay, many students think that all these can be done after they graduate. Why bother now? So that attitude is not wrong. You have to be doing all this now. Every small experience that you gain will add tremendously to your future. All right. So Dion, for your question, it is very helpful to add the live experience of projects or internships that they do as while they are studying.
All
All
right.
right. So one last question, probably.
Yeah.
What type of questions on portfolio will be asked? They may be inquisitive to know your thought process. Okay, so how did you arrive at a particular solution for a problem? They may try to understand what kind of study that you have done to understand the problem. Okay, so they may ask about the techniques that you have used. If you are showing some illustrations and etc., they may ask you about the softwares that they use, that you have used, the settings you use for taking photographs, or if you are showing some fantastic photographs, they may also ask about the camera and the various features about that and why is it the best camera, and you know. So see, sometimes what we have observed is for some children, for some students, the faculty will just check the portfolio for less than 5-10 seconds and they keep the portfolio away. They will not ask anything about the portfolio. All right. In some students' cases, they ask everything about the portfolio only and no other questions. Right. So it all depends on the professor who is interacting with you and the kind of answers you are giving to them. All right. But please be prepared to answer deeper level, um, to give deeper level answers to the questions that they ask. Okay. Okay. So Aditi Kapoor is asking which foreign universities or institutes offer scholarships. So that is not relevant to this program that we are organizing today, the webinar. But I can connect you to certain people who have good understanding of foreign universities and institutes that offer scholarships. So there are certain scholarships that can give 100% fee waiver or maybe 5,000 USD or 5,000 pounds a year. And also there are some Indian scholarships that support students who are going abroad. Now that's a vast topic. In fact, it's a very good topic. I would prefer, Dion, if you can organize one Monday conversations I would like to invite a visitor for that, and they would probably answer all these questions.
All right. All right.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So with that, I think we can close the session, Dion.
Sure. Sounds good.
Right. Okay. All the best for all of you. Please subscribe and click on the notification bell icon so that you get updates on the various interesting programs that you're organizing. And please be in touch. All the best for your future. Thank you so much and bye.